Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So today, as promised, I am doing a quick review of both the latest, since this, there has been a newer palette, which you guys will also see this week swatches of, but these are the Nubian Royal and the Nubian Glow by Juvia's Place. These are their mini palettes. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about both of these together really quick, just to give you guys the rundown of these if you are interested, swatches, and of course comparisons to any other Juvia's Place palettes that you might have thought that were dupes to these or very similar in tone, and you could possibly skip on these. So if you are interested, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash of Japan. That is something that interests you. Subscribe, join us. And now without further ado, let's get on with this quick review. Like I mentioned in the intro, at this point, Juvia's Place has now released a newer palette, which I do have in my hands, which you will see swatches of this week, so don't despair. I promise you guys I'm going to get it up this week. But I wanted to get this one up because with the whole family death that we had, these were delayed, so I want to get it on now. So these, as you guys can see, they are minis. They came out with two of them. One is more purple based, as you guys can see, and then the other one is more orangey yellow base. Now both of these are $15 each. You can get them individually $15 or in a bundle set where each of them came with 2 lip balms from my understanding. They are available at Juvia's Place website as well as Ulta, but I noticed that Ulta you can only get them as a bundle set. You can't get the actual palettes individually like I did. Now if you guys want to hold off, you all know that Juvia's Place tends to have a lot of sales. Guarantee you probably these will cost $7 at some point during the Black Friday sale. So if you want to hang on tight, wait till there. I paid the full price just to let you guys know if it's even worth the $7 for you guys. So I'm going to talk about both of them together because basically I feel like you're getting the same thing on both of them, just 2 different color themes. So with these you're getting, as you guys can tell, 6 shadows, 2 mattes, 1 glitter, and then the rest are shimmer metallic. One of these in each of the palettes tends to be a shifter. So for instance, these don't have any names, as you guys can see. In the orange one, this is more of a shifter. It has like a greenish gold shifting to it. You get your typical yellow bronzy gold and then this white base gold right here, and here you get your glitter in the center. Now when we look at the purple one, same thing goes here. I would feel like this is more of like your shifting purpley pink. Here is your glitter right over here. And this one you are getting 3 mattes versus 2, and then of course this deeper shimmer shade right here, which I have used as an outer V. Now I've used both of these in multiple different ways, and today I am sharing with you guys a demo having both of these on my eyes. I have only these 2 palettes on my eyes, and this is the look that I came out with, and I think it came out beautiful. Both of these paired together, I feel like complement each other. So it's not like these 2 don't go together. I feel like these 2 really do go together. I love the packaging. It really attracted me. I love this whole entire vibe going on here. A lot of you guys wanted me to share with you guys the purple one. I will do real quick both of these separately just so you guys could know. This one, the Nubian Glow, I will tell you that I felt like the mattes were a lot drier in this palette versus the purple one. I felt like in this one I really had to build up the color little by little. I couldn't go too ham in here because I felt like the pigment wasn't as strong in this one as far as the mattes, but I was able to build it up and it came out really nice. Now bear in mind when I say that these eyeshadows are drier, if you are a beginner, that's a good thing for you. If you are more advanced when it comes to color or eyeshadow, whatever you want to call it, you're gonna have to build these up. Keep in mind that if it is drier, you can get patchier looks because of the drier texture. Do not use a sticky base with these. I do not recommend a sticky base. Just use a regular primer or just your regular eyelid, like a powder, translucent powder over your eyelids, and that should work perfectly fine. The glitters in both of these palettes, it's super finely milled. Very, very finely milled. It is nothing like the Walhalla 1 palette that I reviewed and shared with you guys, the first set of glitters that they basically came out with in a palette. Those are very, very chunky glitters. These are super finely milled that on the eyes, yes, I used both of them on my eyes. It looked like an actual shimmery shadow. It didn't look like I had glitter on my eyes, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. I did not have trouble with any fallout with it. I did not use a glitter glue to test these out, and it stayed put on my eyes. Bear in mind, I do not have hooded eyes, so you have to take that into consideration if you are interested in this and you don't mind the glitter. Now, as far as the purple one goes, this is the Royal palette. I felt like the mattes in here worked so much better. They were a lot looser packed in and not as drying, so I felt like the pigmentation was so much better in this, especially in this vibrant purple shade right here. That's what I have on my outer V. It doesn't take that much to build that up, but again, you still have that dry texture, so you will get patchiness if you go in too much too quickly. And the other two, these worked perfectly fine on my lids. This glitter, again, super beautiful. I wore every single shadow in one look, and I spoke to you guys on my Insta stories, and so many of you guys loved this purple look. If I were to choose either one of these two palettes, if I were to go back and only choose one, I definitely go with the purple one because the quality is a lot better in this one, I feel, and I kind of like the glitter a lot in this one. This glitter right here just tends to be your typical very yellow gold, so it's not so much something that stands out to me. Now, I know many of you had wondered if it's very similar to the violet. So, of course, I wanted to pull out the violets and share it with you guys. Again, everything I'll have close-ups of. So, if you can't see it up here while I'm doing it, I promise you guys I will do my best to have all the close-ups up here. So, I'm going to share with you guys both the violets and the Royal palette so you guys can see what they look like here. Now, on here, you guys can see that this one is more based. I could tell you that this is more subdued. These violets in the actual violets palette are more subdued than the Royal. The Royal has a kick up, has more, and by I mean kick up, like more of a punch to the color. These are a lot more vibrant in your face. Like the deep purple is a lot more purple, like grape purple, like super, super vibrant purple, versus these that are super deep. This shade right here, ooh, I'm not even in frame. This shade right here, and then this one, are not the same. They might seem the same on camera, but they're not. This is more white based and this is more purple based. So if you are more of a cooler toned undertone, this would be better for you. Like this will work out better. If you're warmer, this is not gonna look that great on you. I would go with this one right over here. The deeper shade right here, these two are different as well. This is more of a black purple and this is more of a purple in here. So there's slight differences. On the eyes, they may seem the same, but they're not exactly the same, you guys. Looking at these two, one has more of a pack of a punch, one has a glitter in it, and the other one does not. So, of course, I will share close-ups of both of these for you guys so you guys can see what you're getting if you have the violets or you're interested in the violets and maybe you thought the Royal was better for you. Now, as far as this one, the palette that really stuck out to me that I thought maybe the mattes would be a dupe for would be the Zulu palette. The Zulu palette, as you guys can see, has that orange and that yellow. I figured this is the closest of the brightness that you're gonna get. But again, you can very clearly see that the Zulu palette orange is a lot more vibrant than this one right here. As same goes for the yellow. Zulu palette's gonna give you more of a vibrant, brighter colors than the actual, Glow palette. The Glow is more subdued than the Zulu, so it's not exactly the same. Now, can you find these shades within other palettes if you nitpick, like you pull each individual shadow out? Yes, I'm sure you can. You could do that with any eyeshadow you have in your collection. So I just wanted to share specifically some Juvia's Place palettes that may be similar to these, that if you're on the fence, do I really need these because I have this one or I have this one? Am I really just gravitating towards that one shade? Is it worth it for me for that one shade? Maybe if it's half price, it might be. If these are $7 a piece, maybe that might be something you want to get. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't like glitter. I'm gonna put it to you guys this way, and I'm not trying to convince you guys to purchase these palettes. I'm not trying to convince you guys to see it a different way. I'm just trying to make it where you guys can see where I'm coming from when it comes to glitter. I don't mind glitter. I don't care whether I have it or I don't have it, so long as it's not the whole entire palette and I'm not under the assumption that I'm buying a palette just for glitters. I don't want that. I don't mind 2 or 3 glitters. Now, I know a lot of people automatically get turned off when you see a glitter in a palette. I want you guys to think about it this way. And I'm not pushing you guys to buy anything. As you guys know, I don't do that. But I want you to guys think about it this way. Before glitter was in a palette, just as singles, and you used to look at an eyeshadow palette and you would look at it, because I know I've been guilty of this. I've looked at a palette and I've said to myself, I'm not going to use that black shadow in it. I'm not going to use a cream shadow, but I like all the other ones, but I'm still going to buy it anyway. And you end up buying this eyeshadow palette with two shadows that you were already knowing you weren't going to use that were in this palette, but you still bought it anyway and you still love it and you still enjoy it. I don't know. I guess it just rubs me the wrong way whenever I hear people like bash when one or two shadows are glitter. Because if you thought about it before, if you ever bought a palette that you didn't like one or two shadows, but you still bought the palette, but you never used those two shadows and you were okay with it, how is this any different? How is two glitter shadows any different? Again, if the palette is half glitter, the palette is a whole glitter, I get it. I don't want that either. I do not want it. But if it's 1 to 2 shadows, I don't mind it because I have purchased eyeshadows in the past, palettes where 1 or 2 shades I have no intentions of using, but I still get the palette for it. Just think about that, because I know that some of you guys really want a palette and you see that it's a great deal, but then you see that one glitter and then all of a sudden you completely turn it off. And it's your money, do whatever you want, but just think about it that way. Have you ever purchased a palette where 1 or 2 shades you did not want or cared to use, but you still got it? Maybe you might want to get one palette with one glitter and figure out a different way of using it. I've shared with you guys many different ways of how you can use a glitter shadow that is not on your eyes. And I'm sure there's a lot of other ways on YouTube that you can use it. So that's just food for thought. I'm leaving it there. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I just wanted you guys to think about it when you do have purchases or when you do purchase anything in general. Okay, now that I've told you that, let's go really quick to the demo I wanted to share with you guys. I filmed it on my phone. Now that I no longer have my vanity in front of me with the camera in front of me at all times, I decided to see if maybe my phone could work great because I do have a ring light on my vanity desk. So bear with me if the quality isn't there or you really can't see. I'm going to do my best to edit it as best as I possibly can so you can really see the eye look being done. So I wanted to use both of the palettes in one look because genuinely that's how I'm going to end up using them. I love mixing and matching palettes and shadows. You guys know that I normally don't stick to one palette unless I am actually reviewing it and testing it out for you guys. So I started out with the Glow palette. I ended up going with this yellow matte shade down at the bottom. I very lightly dusted it all over my crease and above my crease to make it more blown out because I wanted the actual yellow to stand out at the end of the look. Then I went in with the Royal palette and I went in with the deepest, darkest purple, which I love that shade. I love it. So bright, so vibrant. You guys can see I pack it on the edges and bring it in a little bit into my crease just to get a dimension out of the look and get the outer V look. Buffed it out a little bit with my brush. Then I went back into the Glow palette and I went with the duochrome kind of greenish yellow shade, as you guys can see, and I put it on with my eyes. This is a sheer formula, but once you build it up, it looks really nice. If you put a green under here or the orange matte and put this on top, you'll get a different look. It's a chameleon, so it's a really, really pretty shadow. Then I went in with the white based yellow at the bottom and put it in my inner corner. Then I finally decided I needed something else. So I went in with the purple, the mid purple shade, the matte one in the Royal palette, and buffed it up on my crease area and a little bit into the yellow to buff out the purple, kind of transition the purple and the yellow that I used up there so then it wouldn't look so bad. And then at the end I ended up using whatever was left on my brush from that deep matte purple and put it on my lower lash line. And that was it. I didn't want to use lashes today because I really wanted you guys to see the look, and I really love how it turned out. It looks so pretty. It looks like I have color, but I'm not so out there, and I get some sort of dimensions in the sun. I get that yellow, I get the purple, I get the greenish yellow on my lid. I really loved how this turned out, you guys. I had really a little bit of trouble on the matte outer V. It kind of got a little bit patchy, but as you guys know, you can make them work. Just gently buff it out and place your shadows exactly where you want them to have the least amount of patchiness. Mix and match your brushes. Use as many brushes as possible. Don't just stick to one, because I see that a lot of people just stick to the one brush, and that's where you get in trouble because you have so much pigmentation in the brush. Get a cleaner brush and buff out your products, and that way you don't get so many streaky lines on the edges. So that's it, guys. That's all I have for you guys today. I wanted to make this quick, easy, to the point. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know down in the comment section if you purchased either one of these palettes. How did you like them? What are your thoughts? Wahala number 2 will be coming up this week. I will be doing swatches and comparisons to the number 1, because obviously you guys know, I already know the Juvia's Place formula, and I have heard from my fellow content creators that there's duochromes in there. There's multichromes in that palette, which if you guys saw my post on Instagram, you really can't see it in direct sunlight. So I'm excited to see which shadows are actually the multichrome. So thank you guys again for all of your support. I'll put more videos right over here for your enjoyment. Until then, bye guys.